Gentlemen, today we take an important next step in that journey. The backbone of our long-term policy agenda will be a new economic model which will be integrated into the 10th Malaysia Plan and with a longer-term vision that will be delivered through the 11th Malaysia Plan. This can transform the Malaysian economy to become one with high incomes and quality growth over the next decade. The new economic model is a vital part of Malaysia, or the Malaysia that we are building, the structure that will serve our people for the future. I'd like you to think of a metaphor. Think of a house under the Malaysian sun. We need a roof, an overarching philosophy that encompasses all parts of the building.
Breaking news, the SIT's Prime Minister Najib Razak just announced that new economic model, NEM, will be the new backbone of a long-term policy agenda. It will be integrated in the 10th Malaysia Plan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi there. My name is MUHAMMAD bin NORMAZLAN and you're with me today.
HAIKAL RASDI.
You're watching Breaking News.
Today's news is reviewing policy of new economic model.
My name is ATHIFAH BINTI SHAFRIZAL, and my name is SITI HALIMAH binti JUPRI.
I am AZREENA ALIA binti MUZAFFAR, and
I am SYAZWANI binti HARNIZAT.
We talk about why Prime Minister introduced NEM. It is because occurred
Due to the policy create culture of dependency, the NEP has created culture of dependency and entitlement among Bumiputras who always depend on government rather than compete with themselves. According to the statistic given, the government has set 30% of quotas in property ownership, especially for Bumiputras in helping the development. However, even after 50 years, the policy has been made, the policy was not still achievable. The Ministry of Economic Affairs said in 2019, Bumiputras only managed to get 19.2% in 2015 equity ownership, and the number was not even close to the 30% that government has targeted. This shows that how independent the Bumiputras in making property ownership for economic development.
Next, we go to the second policy problem. According to official data, the household living below the line, the poverty, has been reduced 49.3% in 1970 to 70.1% in 1990, and by end 2009, overall had been reduced to 3.8%. This reduction has shown the evidence to all ethnic groups, region, and strata. Among the Bumiputras, the poverty incident reduced from the almost 65% in 1970 to 0.8% in 2014.
monopoly is when a firm who is the sole seller of its product and there are no close substitutes. When there is no government intervention, a monopoly is free to set any price it chooses and will usually set the price that yields the largest possible profit. In NEP, monopoly is used as one of the widespread marketing strategies in the industries. As we can see, the existence of rice cartel, Padi Beras Nasional Berhad, BERNAS, Lembaga Padi dan Beras Negara (LPN) in 1971 until 1993 became tainted with numerous governance issues and organizational weaknesses. A private corporation called BERNAS was established in 1994 as a replacement in the hope that it will perform better. The government has previously contemplated proposals to liberalize the rice business, which has brought attention to the problem of rice monopoly. These plans have moved further because of worries about how they will affect the local farmers' livelihoods and food security. Government used antitrust policies to prevent monopolies. The Competition Act 2010 was passed to encourage healthy competition between companies in the same industry, and it prevents companies from collaborating illegally. The Malaysian government has been reviewing all monopolies currently existing in the system to ensure that publics enjoy fair and better services. However, BERNAS is still in the contract until 2031. Thus, government doesn't have any right to end it before the date it was set to end. According to the figure, we can see how Brunei's monopoly all the rise in Malaysia. Now, we will review the objective of NEM, which is New Economic Model. The primary goal of NEM is to transform Malaysia into a prosperous, high-income, inclusive and sustainable nation, ultimately improving the quality of life for its citizens. These three objectives are the utmost importance in order to enhance the well-being of the ordinary Malaysians. Similarly, prioritizing commercial interests over social unity is not a viable approach. Malaysia needs to address its significant economic challenges before achieving its goal of becoming a developed country by 2020. In order for an economy to progress, it must also develop expertise, specialization, and technological innovation. Additionally, effective institutions are necessary to ensure good governance. The failure of NEP to achieve its goal of stabilizing Malaysia's GDP per capita can be seen in the GDP per capita data from 1986 to 2010 from the table above. The NEP, which was implemented during the 5th Malaysia Plan from 1986 to 1990, resulted in a significant decrease in the annual growth rate, with the GDP per capita reaching almost USD 4,000 in 1998. With the negative experience of NEP in the past, NEM hoped to attain USD 15,000 to 20,000 per capita by the end of 2020. Sustained and complete execution of the National Economic Advisory Council or NEAC reform proposal would speed up Malaysia's transition into a high-income economy. The government defines high income as a per capita income of USD 50,000 in 2020. Malaysia's current gross national income or GNI per person is roughly USD 6,700. To achieve high income status, GNP must rise at a real growth rate of 6% each year between 2011 and 2020.
We will proceed with the next objective, which is sustainability. So the NEM aims for sustainable growth that meets the current needs of the population without harming the future generations. It emphasizes responsible management of the context, natural environment and non-renewable resources, particularly of water and oil and gas resources. So one of the examples of the NEM approach for the sustainable growth is in agriculture, where it involves capitalizing on Malaysia's successful palm oil industry to become the world's most efficient producer of edible oil. So the palm oil industry has significantly contributed to the Malaysian income, and export has helped lift people out of poverty through the scheme of FELDA. Government has committed to addressing climate change through investment in green technology and incentive for green building construction. NEM advocates sustainable agriculture by promoting productive, competitive and efficient techniques that protect the natural environment and local communities. By commercializing biodiversity into high-value products and services, Malaysia can enhance its green income and inclusive strategy. So this approach will benefit the future generation enjoying the clean water, air and preserve an environment in the sustainability policy. Based on the data of availability status of national SDG indicators from 2018 and 2021, as you can see in the data, we have 41% on 2018, and the next it increases to becoming 52%, about 128 out of 24/7 global indicator. And for the year of 2020, we have 59% out of 146 out of 247 global indicator, and lastly is 71% per 175 out of 248 global indicator. So this principle stress the optimization of renewable resources and the empowerment of local communities to protect and improve their living conditions.
We are going to the objective of the new economic model, which is NEM. The NEP of Malaysia, which was in place from 1971 to 1990, primarily focused on addressing economic and social disparities among the country's different ethnic groups rather than equalities. For example, we can look at the indicators of female labor force participation rate by age group for Malaysia. Based on this figure, shows that women in range of 30s until 50s, only some of them venturing into existing business sectors in Malaysia. This shows that inequality occurs in the involvement of women in the employment sector. However, the objective of inclusiveness can encourage the involvement of the women in the employment sector in an effort to achieve equalities. Other than that, the specialty of NEM is able to improve the infrastructure of rural areas such as the state of Sabah, Sarawak and also the village areas. For example, under the strategic plan of Sabahan and Sarawakian can have equitable access to high quality road, basic infrastructure, healthcare and quality education, especially for the rural communities. In the simplest way, inclusiveness is one of the ways to reduce the gaps has been mentioned in Goal 4 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which is to promote quality and assist children from low-income households to break the cycle of poverty. Now let me explain about the policy evaluation of the NEM. It helped to reduce the gaps between the rural areas and urban. It helped the people who live in the rural areas to improve their lifestyle to get the comfortness. For instance, the local government will play their role to provide the facilities such as public transport, water supply and electricity. In addition, it will easily can improve the areas to be one of the strategic place to be the urban areas.
About policy create culture of dependency, given that this goal cannot be implemented, the government has established various entities to assist Bumiputra in obtaining 30% equity ownership. Equinas or Equity Nasional Berhad as established in September 1, 2009, and this company formation is to promote properties and economy participation among Bumiputras based on their market friendliness, merit and transparency. Other bodies that also have increasing the ownership property was also Kumpulan Wang Simpanan Pekerja KWSP, Permodalan Nasional Berhad BNB, Tabung Haji dan Unit Peneraju Agenda Bumiputra Teraju. However, the government still maintain the 30% quotas for with assistance with MPEN or Penasihat Ekonomi Negara under the new economy model or NEM as one of the measures to ensure Bumiputra investor. For example, nowadays indicator performance of KWSP and Tabung Haji shows the good achievement as a data show. In corruption, this economic policy cannot be implemented since not only external reason but also internal one contribute to the NEP's inability to combat corruption. This is due to the mindset of civil officers who do not practice integrity in their profession. The Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (SPRM) was founded in the New Economy Model or NEM to produce manpower in management of corruption crime as well as to educate the public on corruption. This is the result of multi-lateral effort by Indonesia, Singapore and Thailand to tackle corruption throughout the Asia area. This is the result of multi-lateral effort from Singapore, Indonesia and Thailand to tackle corruption throughout the Asian area. According to the table above, the corruption case in Malaysia has not altered substantially since the SPRM was founded in September 2009.
The NEM has continued the NEP's effort to reducing the poverty. The NEM takes efforts against the poverty and they are continue to support programs for disadvantaged groups. The focus is they are focused on the bottoms of household 40% of business owner and households too. And then there should be a shift in towards relative to poverty. The concept of growth elasticity poverty considered, which suggests that inequality can reduce the poverty.
Now we will move to the policy evaluation in terms of high income objective. There is a positive impact of high income objective where a high income economy is characterized by a gross national income per capita exceeding $13,200 US. While Malaysia falls just short of this benchmark, it is clear that the country is moving in the right direction. An important factor to consider is the percentage of Malaysia's GDP derived from labour, which experienced a notable increases of 3.2% from 2011 to 2016. This upward trend signifies a firm labour market and reflects the country's commitment to fostering inclusive growth. The sustained growth in labour share of income highlights Malaysia. In addition to this, it is noteworthy that Malaysia has experienced significant growth in its GDP per capita, reaching an impressive amount of $12,445 in the year of 2022, aligning with its set target. Furthermore, creating a competitive domestic economy where Malaysia has proven itself to be a competitive player on par with other developed nations. This is evident by its ranking of 27 out of 195 countries on the World Competitiveness Scoreboard for both 2020 and 2021. The effort to create a competitive domestic economy is vital for Malaysia's overall economic growth and stability. By focusing on industries such as electronics and integrated circuits manufacturing, Malaysia aims to enhance its global competitiveness and attract investment. This strategic move positions Malaysia as a strong competitor in the global market and contributes significantly to the country's economic development. In addition, welcoming foreign talent including the diaspora, where Malaysia launched Telecom in 2011 with the primary goal of achieving the NEM. Telecom works with a variety of talent groups including students in schools, college and TVET, as well as recent graduates, professionals, women, elders and Malaysian diaspora members. One of the Telecom projects is the Returning Expert Program, or REP, and this program has had some good consequences such as reducing dependency on foreign labor. However, it has not fully achieved its goal due to the strong demand for local personnel in the business and lack of excitement among the citizens in working in this field. For instance, while the number of Indonesian foreign workers in Malaysia decreased to 835,965 in 2015, the number of Nepalese foreign workers increased significantly to 502,566 in the same year.
Next, the policy evaluation of NEP in context of sustainability, which was placed from 1971 to 1990, primarily focused on addressing economic and social disparities among the country's different ethnic groups. Rather than sustainability in the modern environmental sense, needless to say, the option do not really offer sustainable long-term growth and structural change for the Malaysian economy, as effort to alleviate poverty became less contentious and diminished in importance over time. So the NEP became increasingly associated with endeavors to restructure society and reduce ethnic disparities, particularly between ethnic Malays and Chinese on that time. So sustainability with NEP, with a particular focus on environmental and ecological consideration, gained greater international attention. Malaysia, like many other nations, subsequently started to address sustainability and environmental matters in the policy endeavors, including the formation of NEM in 2010. So the NEP was designed to transition Malaysia into a high-income, inclusive and sustainability economy. During this era, NEP era, sustainability and environmental concerns were often considered of secondary importance compared to these development priorities. So the focus of sustainable development and environmental protection that characterized the present day was largely absent during the NEM's times. So the policy of sustainability embodies a foundation of trust in the government capabilities. Moreover, this policy, the sustainability policy, harnesses an improved environment. It secures the promise of the clean air, water and favorable living conditions for recreational activities and the preservation of rich biodiversity for future generations. So the NEM also places a strong emphasis for the future generation, and energy policy is also included for the capital support for green technology and expertise development, and positioning the Malaysia as a hub for environmentally sustainable product and service.
Now we go to the recommendation. Recommendation of culture of dependency. The government must investigate the root cause of the culture of reliance in order to understand why people do not respond positively even the government strive for Bumiputra of 30% equity ownership. The government should enhance the human model by supplying highly educated workers rather than using foreign workers. This can be accomplished by providing a program that meets the needs of the industry with the assistance from third-party or non-government organizations in offering incentives and assistance from communities is a lesson reliance on the government. Recommendation on eliminate corruption. The government should restrict the openness and accountability of government and public institutions to minimize corruption. This can be demonstrated by making it difficult for the public, media and civil society to monitor and evaluate the performance and conduct of government agencies in charge of delivering public goods and service. With the implementation of the SPRM and strengthening of the governance, all government agencies should conduct periodic monitoring and guarantee that transparency is always practiced and applied.
To be concluded, the new economic model, which is NEM policy, can be continued because it has some benefit to the Malaysian citizen, but it still have to do with some modification because it can restructure the weaknesses that have been through by the people.